Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. We all know Yellowstone National Park, right? It's famous for its incredible geysers like Old Faithful, stunning hot springs, and amazing wildlife. It's a place of breathtaking natural beauty. But what if I told you that beneath all that beauty lies one of the most powerful forces on our planet? A force so immense it could change the world as we know it. Today, we're diving deep, literally, into the heart of Yellowstone to talk about the supervolcano lurking right under our feet. So, what exactly is a supervolcano? You've probably heard of regular volcanoes like Mount St. Helens or Mount Fuji. They're cone-shaped mountains that erupt lava and ash. A supervolcano is a different beast altogether. It's not a pointy mountain. Instead, it's a massive underground chamber or reservoir of magma. Think of it like a giant subterranean lake of molten rock, stretching for miles and miles. This chamber is so large that when it erupts, it doesn't just blow its top. The ground above it collapses, creating a huge crater called a caldera. The Yellowstone caldera is massive, about 45 miles long and 30 miles wide. It is so big you can even see it when you are standing inside it. The entire park, in a way, is the volcano. This giant magma chamber is what powers all of Yellowstone's famous geothermal features. The heat from the magma boils the groundwater, creating the pressure that sends geysers like Old Faithful shooting into the sky. The hot springs, the mud pots, the steam vents, they're all direct evidence of the immense heat engine running just a few miles below the surface. It's like the park is a giant pressure cooker, and these features are the little valves letting off steam. This system has been in place for a very long time, shaped by a series of colossal eruptions. Now, let's talk about those eruptions. The Yellowstone hotspot, which is the source of all this magma, has a history of producing some of the largest volcanic eruptions in Earth's history. Geologists have identified 3 massive caldera-forming eruptions. The first one, about 2.1 million years ago, was one of the largest volcanic events ever known. It was almost 6,000 times more powerful than the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. It created a caldera so big it could cover a large portion of the western United States. Then about 1.3 million years ago, there was another, smaller but still enormous eruption. The most recent one happened about 640,000 years ago. This eruption formed the Yellowstone caldera we see today and blanketed much of North America in a thick layer of ash. So if you do the math, 2.1 million, 1.3 million, and 640,000 years ago, you might notice a rough pattern. The eruptions seem to happen every 600,000 to 800,000 years. And since the last one was about 640,000 years ago, that leads to the big question everyone asks: are we overdue for another one? It's a scary thought, and it's what fuels a lot of headlines and disaster movies. But here's the good news. According to the scientists at the U.S. Geological Survey who monitor Yellowstone 24/7, the answer is most likely no. Volcanoes don't run on a strict schedule like a bus. The overdue idea is a misunderstanding of how geology works. While the past can give us clues, it doesn't set a timetable for the future. For a super-eruption to occur, a lot of things have to happen. The magma chamber needs to fill with a huge amount of eruptible magma, and right now scientists believe the chamber is only about 5 to 15% molten. The rest is mostly solid or semi-solid rock. That's not nearly enough fuel for a super-eruption. Think of it like a car's gas tank. You can't go on a long road trip with the tank almost empty. Scientists at the Yellowstone Volcano Observatory are constantly watching the volcano's vital signs. They use a network of seismometers to detect earthquakes, GPS stations to measure ground deformation, tiny changes in the swelling or sinking of the land, and they analyze the gases being released from the ground. Yellowstone is a very active place. It experiences thousands of small earthquakes every year, and the ground rises and falls by a few centimeters. This is all normal behavior for a living, breathing caldera system. It's the volcano letting off steam, which is a good thing. It prevents pressure from building up to a critical point. So if a super-eruption isn't likely anytime soon, what is? The most probable type of eruption at Yellowstone would be a much smaller hydrothermal explosion or a lava flow. A hydrothermal explosion happens when superheated water trapped underground flashes to steam, causing a powerful blast. These can create craters a few hundred feet across and are a localized hazard. The other possibility is a lava flow. This would be a slow-moving river of molten rock that oozes out of a vent. While it would definitely be destructive to the immediate area, it wouldn't be a global catastrophe. These types of events have happened dozens of times since the last super-eruption and are a much more realistic scenario. But let's entertain the what-if for a moment. What would happen if Yellowstone did have another super-eruption? The consequences would be global. The initial blast would be devastating for hundreds of miles around the park. But the biggest impact would come from the volcanic ash. A massive plume of ash, gas, and pulverized rock would be thrown high into the stratosphere, where it could travel around the globe. This ash cloud would blanket huge areas of the United States, several feet deep. It would be heavy enough to collapse buildings, contaminate water supplies, and destroy farmland. It would be like a thick, gritty, permanent winter descending on the country. The global effects would be just as severe. The sheer amount of sulfur dioxide and other gases injected into the atmosphere would block out sunlight, leading to a phenomenon known as a volcanic winter. Global temperatures could drop by several degrees, disrupting weather patterns and shortening or eliminating growing seasons around the world. This would trigger a global food crisis. Air travel would come to a standstill as volcanic ash is incredibly dangerous for jet engines. The global economy would be massively disrupted. It would be a true planetary-scale disaster, changing life for everyone on Earth. Again, and this is the most important takeaway, this catastrophic scenario is extremely unlikely in our lifetime or even for many, many generations to come. The volcano is showing no signs of gearing up for such an event. The scientists watching it would see clear warning signs like intense earthquake swarms, rapid ground uplift of several meters, and dramatic changes in gas emissions for weeks, months, or even years before a major eruption. There would be time to prepare and evacuate. It wouldn't be a complete surprise. So should you be worried? No. Should you be fascinated? Absolutely. Yellowstone is a window into the incredible power of our planet's geology. It's a reminder that the ground beneath our feet is dynamic and ever-changing. The work being done at Yellowstone is at the cutting edge of science, helping us understand these powerful systems not just there, but at other volcanoes around the world. It's a natural laboratory that teaches us about Earth's history and its future. Next time you see a picture of Old Faithful or the Grand Prismatic Spring, remember the immense power that creates that beauty. Yellowstone isn't something to be feared, but something to be respected and understood. It's a testament to the wild and wonderful forces that have shaped our world. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope this cleared up some of the myths and gave you a better understanding of the incredible geology of Yellowstone. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more deep dives into the wonders of our world. Let me know in the comments if you've ever been to Yellowstone or what other topics you'd like to see covered. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.